Okay, here's one for the women in the Torah movement and in the Christian church. So in Matthew 23, Yeshua rebukes the Pharisees for not judging righteous judgment. He calls it the weightiest matter of the law. He says that you tithe in anise and mint and cumin, but you leave off the weightier matters of the law. So they're tithing, they're doing their sacrificial law, but they leave off the weightiest matter of the law. And the first thing he lists is judgment. So Christian women, judge not lest ye be judged. You've got to judge righteous judgment. He says, I judge no man according to the flesh like the Pharisees, flesh being an idiom for the sacrificial law. He doesn't judge men for not being circumcised. He wants you to circumcise your heart, which is an idiom for keeping the Ten Commandments. Women in the Torah movement, you're judging unrighteous judgment by adding stumbling blocks to people. Like telling them, you've got to wear tzitzits. And you've got to do the feasts, even though we're outside the land. Because the Pharisees will have been judging people based on tithe. Oh, if you didn't give this much, you're not a very good person, are you? But the Messiah even says, and I have to mention, the Christians even say, oh, anyone judging according to the Ten Commandments, you are the Pharisees. In John 5, the Messiah says, I know you Pharisees, that you have not the Ten Commandments in your heart. You have not the love of God in you. Because you've missed that I'm even the Messiah. You can't even see that I'm the Messiah. And the Christians have done exactly the same thing. They don't have the love of God in them, so they've received Jesus, who teaches that the Ten Commandments are nailed to the cross, when he actually nailed the sacrificial law to the cross. And that's what the Torah movement are still blending. Both sides, the left and the right, have missed the Messiah.
Yeah.
What else do I have to say about that?
They missed Isaiah 11.
Yeah.
That he was going to come and slay the wicked with the breath of his lips and judge righteous judgment, not according to the sight of his eyes, not according to the hearing of his ears,
Yeah.
but judging righteous judgment. You can only judge righteous judgment according to what God calls righteousness, which is the Ten
The Ten
Commandments.
Commandments. Not the law that was added, Galatians 3:19. What was added? The Ten Commandments was added to the Ten Commandments because of transgression of the Ten Commandments. Sacrificial law was added to the covenant, the Ten Commandments, Deuteronomy 4:13. The covenant was written on 2 tables of stone by God's own finger. Moses hand wrote the law of Moses and put it in the side of the ark, whereas the Ten Commandments were in the ark, in the heart. We're supposed to be keeping them. Blunder. Even said, go and learn what this means. I prefer mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. If you didn't go and learn what that meant, you don't even love the Messiah. Why would you ignore that? He's quoting Hosea 6:6 and 7. Yeah. He's quoting Hosea 6:6 and 7.
Yeah,
I prefer... yeah, you go for it.
Because it says, I prefer mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. But they, like men, have transgressed the covenant. And that's the covenant of Horeb, it's the Ten Commandments. So it's like he's saying, yeah, I would have preferred for you to have mercy and to show mercy to each other, and I would have preferred for you to have the knowledge of God and have this wisdom from the Holy Spirit and to be able to understand prophecy. But because you broke the Holy Covenant, instead you're going to have sacrificial law. But that didn't please God, so he sent his son Yeshua to end the sacrificial law so we could have mercy and so we could have the knowledge of God. But then you just throw it straight back in his face when he tries to give it to you, and then you go back to the sacrificial law. You want to touch Sinai.
Yeah.
But God said, don't touch Sinai.
Yeah.
So
go and learn who the Messiah is in Deuteronomy 18. All the apostles told you that.